Hi everyone, in this video I want to celebrate Pride Month with you, and I also want to discuss the evolution of immigration as it relates to the LGBTQ plus community. And so first and foremost, to celebrate Pride Month, we are all so excited here at our firm to be able to celebrate Pride Month. And Pride Month is so great because it is a recognition of all of the progress that has been made. It's also an important reminder of the progress that and the steps that still need to be taken for equality for the LGBTQ plus community. And also, I think Pride Month is even more than that. The great thing about Pride Month is it really is a reminder that there is no substitute for being 100% unapologetically you. I think that the world is a better place when we all do that and when we are all accepting of each other's differences, because that's what makes a life fun, right? And here at our firm, we represented hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of couples in navigating the immigration process. And we love our job because, well, we love love, and we also love getting to work with so many different and unique individuals and learning that, or knowing rather, that every couple is so unique. It makes our job so much fun to learn about our couples, how they met. Often it seems as if they were in a movie, just the unique ways that our couples have met all across the world, and then also the evolution of their relationship. And so again, we are really excited to be able to make this video to celebrate Pride Month with you. I also wanted to discuss the evolution of immigration, the changes in immigration as it relates to the LGBTQ plus community, and also discuss some of the common questions that we receive. So a very brief history. Basically, pre-2013, same-sex couples were not afforded the same protections or the same rights in the world of immigration as it relates to marriage-based cases. Basically, what happened in 2013 was the Supreme Court struck down DOMA, the Defense Against Marriage Act, that said marriage had to be between a man and a woman. So that happened in 2013, and then fast forward to 2015, the Supreme Court made another wonderful decision that said same-sex couples should be allowed to marry in every state. And so that really changed the landscape of immigration and marriage-based cases and immigration. In large part, same-sex couples should have the same process as any other couple going through the immigration process. Something that we are asked a lot by couples is whether or not immigration officers at the immigration interview and whether immigration officers who are reviewing applications, if they treat same-sex couples differently. A lot of couples are worried that they might be disrespected at the interview, or that they might have additional hurdles to overcome. And so we represent couples all over the United States, all over the world. We have attended interviews with couples in many different states in the United States, and we're happy to be able to report that the immigration officers that have conducted our interviews for our clients have been respectful, and that we have not had any issues with any type of disrespect or unfair standards in the immigration interviews or in the decision making of the applications. However, if you are nervous about your immigration interview, you're nervous about what happens if I'm treated with disrespect at my interview, I want you to have some tips and understand your options and your rights so you can feel more comfortable on that important day. If you are disrespected at your interview, if you feel that the officer is treating you differently, you can ask to speak with a supervisor. And I know that could be a little uncomfortable. You're already on the hot seat being asked about your relationship. You might not feel comfortable asking to speak with the supervisor. You could ask to have your interview, to stop the interview and then try to speak with a supervisory officer. Alternatively, you could think of bringing an immigration attorney with you to the interview to kind of prevent any nerves that you might have on that front, and also to be able to help navigate that for you if that were to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But the main point that I want to make is that you do have the ability to ask for a supervisory officer, which is basically the main boss at that immigration office where you will have your interview. Ask to speak with them and discuss your concerns. Immigration actually also has an investigation department, or a department where you can make complaints. And I will put the link below so you can have that as a reference. But USCIS has on their website information about if you have been treated unfairly, or if you have a concern about the service, that you can make a formal complaint. And so again, I will post that in the notes below, so you can have that link to the USCIS website to know what your rights are and the steps that you can take. But again, I hope that your experience is equal to the experience we've had, where we've had immigration officers. Of course, they aren't there to be your friend. They have an important job to do to make sure you have a real relationship. But we have found that the immigration officers have been respectful and in doing their job. And so we hope that that's your experience as well. And then I would like to discuss progress that I think still needs to be made in immigration. Some of the things that same-sex couples may experience. One of the things is that immigration, if you are filing an application as a same-sex couple, if you've previously had an application, or if you've previously been through an immigration process and you were in a relationship with the opposite sex, immigration tends to look into that more. They scrutinize that more. And by that I mean immigration still is looking at that as a red flag. That I don't agree that is fair, but just to share with you the reality of that situation is that immigration might have additional questions about whether or not that prior relationship that you were married to the opposite sex and filed an immigration application, they would actually look into that and see if that was a real or a bona fide relationship. I tell you that not to scare you, but just to make you aware. And I know that is very common. And what we do for our clients, if we know that, is we just make sure in advance that we have evidence to show, yes, that was a real relationship previously. We don't submit that with the application, but we anticipate that, and knowing that is how we prepare. So that's just one of the aspects of progress that could still be made in the immigration context. Some of the immigration forms are a little antiquated in the language they use. By that I mean some of the forms still use general terms like gender instead of sex. And for the most part, immigration has made a concerted effort to change that on the forms, but that is one of the things that's a little more antiquated. Also, the forms don't really provide for the ability of individuals to designate that they are transitioning. And so in that context, we just have to work with the forms as they are, and usually we'll put a notation or something in the addendum of the form to explain that. So we just have to work with the way the forms are. But those are a few aspects of things that, of areas of progress that can still be made. Thank you all so much for joining me and for celebrating Pride Month. I think that Pride Month is something that should continue beyond the month of June. But thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it and you'd like to give it a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate it, so others on YouTube can benefit from the information. Thanks for watching.